Hello, it's CEO here, and today I will show you how to get max pumpkins per plant. Pumpkins can be used to craft the spooky DIYs, used to customize the color of these spooky DIYs, and can also be eaten if you want to dig up a tree. Pumpkin plants spawn either 1, 2, or 3 pumpkins per harvest. Having more pumpkins is the goal, so if you want to get 3 pumpkins per harvest to maximize your pumpkin yield and save time, keep watching to find out how. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Animal Crossing how-to videos. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments so I can help you. First, you'll need some pumpkins to plant. You can buy pumpkin starts and Nook's Cranny in the cabinet only during October for 280 bells each. You can buy them in singles or in groups of 5. You can also buy pumpkin starts all year round at Leaf's stand in the plaza, so be sure to stop by his garden stand if you are in need of some pumpkins. You can buy pumpkin starts from Leaf in singles or in groups of 5, just like Nook's Cranny, but Leaf also sells his pumpkin starts for half of what Nook charges, so you can save some bells and buy from Leaf. Now that you have your pumpkins, it's time to start planting. You can plant pumpkins not just on the grass, but on the dirt path and the dark dirt path. You can plant pumpkins in sand, but just like weeds and flowers, they will not grow. Pumpkins can also grow year-round, not just in the fall season, so they make a great year-round addition to your island. If you want to grow the maximum of 3 pumpkins per plant, it's important to understand the growth cycle of this plant. Pumpkins grow in 4 stages, starting with day 0 when you plant the pumpkin start, and ending on day 3 with your fully grown pumpkin. If you want to grow 3 pumpkins per plant, instead of the sad, lonely 1 pumpkin, you must pay attention to this cycle and water your pumpkins every day, starting on day 0, which is when you plant the pumpkin start. If you miss a day of watering, you'll only get 1 or 2 pumpkins per harvest, and that is not what we want. To make watering your pumpkins easier, I advise you to obtain the golden watering can, which can water 9 plants at once. This will make watering all your pumpkins every day go much faster. If you don't have the golden watering can, check out my video on how to get every golden tool. It does require you to get to a 5-star island, and I go over some tips to achieve that 5-star rating in that video. It will be linked above and in the description. Now let's say something comes up and you miss a day of pumpkin watering. Unfortunately, if you want to grow 3 pumpkins per plant, you'll have to wait until the plant fully grows, harvest the pumpkins, then start the watering process over again. But there is good news. Since you had to pick the pumpkin to start the process over, it will only take 2 days of watering to get your plant fully grown instead of 3. Since we basically skipped day 0, which is the day when you plant the pumpkin start, there are less days you have to wait for the pumpkin to mature, which means 1 less day you have to worry about when watering your pumpkin plants. This is because when you harvest a pumpkin, the plant is no longer considered a start anymore, but is considered a pumpkin sprout. Pumpkins also come in the colors orange, yellow, green, and white. It's random which color of pumpkin you'll get when you plant from a start. Once the plant fully matures and you see what color pumpkin you got, that pumpkin plant will always produce that color of pumpkin, no matter what. So for example, this pumpkin start grew into a yellow pumpkin, so this plant will always be yellow and will only ever produce yellow pumpkins. Even though this plant will only produce yellow pumpkins, it still can produce 1, 2, or 3 pumpkins per harvest. If you want to keep track of which pumpkins are which color in the growing process, you can download some cute pumpkin designs from the custom design portal in Able's or from your design app on your Nook phone. Then just dig up your pumpkins. A little help Nintendo gave us is when you dig up a pumpkin sprout that's already been harvested at least once, you'll be able to see which color of pumpkin that sprout will produce if you dig it up and look at it in your pockets. This is great because if you have a bunch of sprouts you dug up and you want to organize them by color for when you replant them, you can easily see which colors are which, and then once you've planted them back into the ground, you can use those cute pumpkin designs you downloaded from Able's to mark which row of pumpkins is which color. This trick won't work if you have a pumpkin sprout that has never produced pumpkins yet. This would be the situation if you plant pumpkin starts, then let them grow for 1 or 2 days. Digging up those sprouts will just show as orange pumpkins in your pockets, because the color of the pumpkins for that sprout has not yet been chosen by the game. Each color of pumpkin plant is only selected once the pumpkins have been harvested at least once. Here, I plant 9 pumpkin starts. When I dig them all up, they appear as an orange pumpkin sprout in my pockets. Now remember, pumpkin sprouts can lead to any color of pumpkin, not just orange. Now I will replant all 9 sprouts and wait 3 days until they're fully mature. Fast forward to 3 days later, and my little pumpkin patch has grown some green and orange pumpkins. When I dig up the green pumpkin, it appears green in my pockets, when just a few days earlier, the same sprout appeared orange in my pocket. This is why you have to let the pumpkin plant fully mature at least once for the sprout icon in your pockets to match the color of pumpkin it produces. The game doesn't want you to know the color of pumpkin each pumpkin start will produce until the pumpkins are harvested, and then you can clearly see what color the plants produce. Instead of going through all that, let's say you do want to be able to control what color the pumpkin start produces. There is a way to do this by planting fully grown pumpkins. If you want a certain pumpkin sprout to produce orange, yellow, green, or white pumpkins, you can plant a harvested pumpkin of that color into the ground, and it will automatically turn into a sprout which will produce the same color of pumpkin you buried. This is super handy if there's a color pumpkin you want for an area on your island, or you just want a bunch of pumpkins all in the same color to use to customize spooky items, which requires a certain pumpkin color to turn a spooky item into the same color. For example, if you want a white spooky carriage, you need to harvest enough white pumpkins to satisfy the requirements for customization. Then go to a DIY table and customize the spooky carriage with the white pumpkins. The spooky set is one of the few exceptions that doesn't use customization boxes to customize the color of items, and this applies to the entire spooky set. So if you're wanting to change the color of the spooky item you bought in Nook's Cranny, or you just want to change up the color for fun, having a well-supplied collection of pumpkins in every color in your storage is extremely helpful, especially for spooky season. And of course, watering your pumpkin plants every day to produce 3 pumpkins per plant will help beef up your pumpkin supply even more. If you want more information about pumpkins, check out my pumpkin video from last year with a few more tips and tricks. It'll be linked above and in the description. I hope this video helped you, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.